Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum audience. I hope that you all are fine. Today's video is based on English O level paper 2 syllabus 2023-26, which is a new syllabus, and luckily we have got this course book to assist us, and today's topic, which is descriptive writing, is totally based on this book's content. So don't miss a part of it, because I am going to divide my video into different parts so that good understanding is made in this topic, which is really a tricky topic and where many students ignore a lot of things. So please watch this video till the end and see that and make note of the things which you need to be corrected in your descriptive writing if you want to write descriptive writing. We know that for descriptive writing, we have been given in composition section 2 descriptive writing questions and 2 narrative questions. So we may go for descriptive writing by looking at the simple statement of the question. Mostly students opt for descriptive writing, but unluckily they come short of the requirement of a descriptive writing. So this video aims on all requirements of the descriptive writing. I'm going to discuss the required things for descriptive writing, and inshallah in my upcoming video I'll be showing you samples as well where all these techniques will be implemented. So our whole chapter 8 has been dedicated to talk about descriptive writing in this book. When we are talking about descriptive writing, then what should be our intentions when we plan a descriptive writing? We must look at that we are using a good range of figurative language to describe places, events, and places and people. We know that we may be asked to describe a place, we may be asked to describe an event, or we may be asked to describe some person. So this description cannot be done without the use of appropriate figurative language, that is similes, metaphor, personification, idioms, and all other component of figurative language. Then we have to see that what are the different point of views and perspectives we are going to use when we are writing certain description. Then we have to plan and think of the ideas for descriptive writing. This is really very important. I have seen students looking at the question and then abruptly beginning their description. This is a quite wrong approach to writing a descriptive writing. You must plan it, and you will see in my upcoming video that how descriptive writing should be planned. Then we must plan to write a variety of engaging opening sentences and then further sentences so that our readers are hooked to our writing and they find it interesting. It's not something like easy that talking about some common place, but describing it in such a way that it becomes more colorful, it becomes more imaginative. That comes with an appropriate use of language, that comes with an appropriate use of style, and that comes with a lot of practice and no doubt with a lot of understanding and exposure to different type of descriptive writing. Then we have to bring in different senses. You must be surprised at how senses, yes, when we are talking about descriptive writing, we may try bringing sense of touch, sense of, definitely sight is there, but sense of sound, then the touch, sound, different senses should be appealed, and that will also be shown to you that how different senses can be brought into descriptive writing. And no doubt that can be only done then when you have all these things in your mind, that you have to write with a good planning and bringing all these things in your descriptive writing. Above it, our language should be really effective with a lot of variety of different verbs, adverbs, and adjectives so that we can describe our given question statement. Now, when we talk about descriptive writing, I must tell you one important thing, that actually descriptive writing is often compared as painting a picture with word. You must be surprised to know. Yes, this is what I want to correct, that many students, when they are writing a descriptive writing, they make their descriptive writing a sort of narration. They bring a lot of a lot of happening in their descriptive writing, which is totally against the format of the descriptive writing. Suppose that if you have been given a picture and you have to describe that picture in words, then there will be no happening at all. This is what happens, that when you have to describe some place, some person, or some event, then you focus less on the happening and more on the details. You have to go with a zooming in technique to look at the minute details and then create some really imaginative good links and a good description, so that your reader is really amazed at your use of language and your imagination. So you have to actually use words to paint so that the other people can imagine that place in a very different way. You may be asked to describe something quite common like your school, or can be some other well-known location around your world, but by being imaginative as possible as you can bring a lot of color to your description, and you can bring comparison in it, you can bring interesting words, so that your description uh, creates a different picture of that ordinary item you are describing. Now, as an examiner, what your skills are, what are the skills which are looked into when you are describing something? I mean, examiner will be looking at that you're expressing different thoughts, different feelings, and you are talking about some imagined situation. This sound little odd or a little difficult, but believe me, this is the essence of descriptive writing. Until you express your thoughts, your feelings about that description, you cannot write a good description. Until and unless you are bringing an imagined situation to your description can never be good rated. So you have to use appropriate structure for writing such responses, and then above it you have to use a range of appropriate vocabulary and sentences. Your vocabulary has to be really wide and really apt according to the situation. And then your sentences, they should have variety. It's not that you are writing the whole description simply in simple sentences, or you write it simply in compound sentences or complex sentences. No, you should bring variety of sentences. You should think of bringing even compound complex sentences and such very witty and very clicky simple sentences. So you have to make use of accurate spelling, punctuation, vocabulary. Choices are really very important. You have noticed that over and again I'm talking about vocabulary. So vocabulary is really very important. You have to be apt in using your vocabulary. You have to be really imaginative. You have to be really perfect in using your vocabulary. And when we are talking about emotion, you must know that when we are talking about some ordinary place, suppose if somebody asks you to talk about your school, definitely a lot of feelings will be attached to that place. Okay, so you have to bring those emotions to your descriptive writing. You have to talk about those feelings in detail. Then your structure has to be really apt for writing and descriptive writing. Then comes a very important thing, that the narrator part. As we all know that narrator is actually the voice which is describing the things. And when we talk about narrator writing, that can also be called the point of view. So point of view and narrator are same. There can be first person narration, there can be second person narration, there can be third person narration. So an appropriate type of narration choosing is really very important for a good and effective descriptive writing. Your third person narration can be omniscient, or it can be the other way around, but it can be limited as well. When we say an omniscient third person narration, here you will find that this I is above the situation. It means that there isn't any biased description here, and there is a full knowledge of all characters and situation. But when we see that there is a third person limited narration style or point of view, here we see that the person involved has a biased view of looking at the thing. He has a limited perspective to see the thing. Then talking about point of view, I think that this picture will definitely help you to see the difference in point of view. If you look at this illustration, you will find out that four people are looking at the tree from the same point of view. Okay, standing at the same location and they are looking at the same tree. So it is their point of view. But when you see that what is going on in their image, that is their perspective. Okay, so perspective changes. Perspective changes according to the person. Similarly, when you are describing certain thing, as a student, your perspective will be different. When you describe the same situation or the school from the perspective of a teacher, it is going to be different, or from the perspective of some peer in the school is going to be different. So I'm sure that the perspective and the point of views difference is quite clear to you. Choosing the right type of point of view, that the narration style, first person, second person, or third person, is up to you. That again brings a lot of difference in your description. Okay, then which perspective are you going to take? That is again really very important. Okay, so clever students, they pay little attention on these things, that from which perspective are they going to write, and they find a perspective where they get ample liberty to write. I hope that this video has really cleared some ideas about description writing. These are some basic things about it. My upcoming videos will be talking about implementation of these techniques with sample. So I hope that you have liked my this little effort, and I'm sure that you are going to appreciate me, correct me, encourage me by your good comments. And till then, stay blessed, and Allah Hafiz.